Welcome to the second video on process modeling. We will now walk through a practical example. We'll design and automate a simple process for handling employee expense reimbursement requests. In this exercise, we'll connect activities, define decision paths, and set time limits for task control, helping you see how processes are structured in practice. Expense reimbursement request process. This process automates the submission and approval of employee reimbursement requests, enabling efficient tracking and control. It begins with a form submission, followed by automatic validations through external systems, and manual approval or rejection. The requester is then notified of the outcome. Step 1: Initial form. The requester initiates the process by completing a form with details like date, amount, and reason for the expense. For this, we'll use the initial form activity. Step 2: Invoking an external service. Next, we'll call the human resources system to verify whether the requester is eligible for reimbursement. This is done through a REST API call that checks if the employee meets the company's reimbursement policy. If they do, the process continues; if not, the request is automatically rejected. We'll use the REST activity for this step. Step 3: Initial evaluation. If the employee qualifies, someone from the administration department must review the request within 5 days. If no action is taken within that time frame, the request is escalated to the administration manager. If the expense is less than $100,000 and the evaluation was done within the allowed time, the requester will be informed of the outcome and any additional comments. To model this logic, we'll use a flow control activity, bifurcation, to evaluate the result from the HR system. A user interaction activity, to allow someone in administration to review the request if the employee is eligible. An email activity, to notify the requester in case of ineligibility. Another bifurcation activity to determine if the request was approved, rejected, or escalated due to exceeding the time limit. This example will show you how BIZUIT's tools enable structured, efficient, and auditable process automation. We will now define 3 paths: approved, rejected, and an additional branch. For expired, if the initial evaluation isn't completed within the specified 5 days, the request must be escalated to the administration manager. To achieve this, we'll use a user interaction activity that assigns the task to the manager for evaluation. Regardless of whether the initial evaluation was completed on time, if the expense amount exceeds $100,000, it must also be authorized by the administration manager. To implement this condition, we'll use a bifurcation activity based on the requested amount. The manager will review the request and must make a decision within 3 days. We'll configure a new user interaction activity for this step. If this timeframe passes without a decision, the task will be marked as overdue, but it will remain assigned to the manager until it is either approved or rejected. To configure this behavior, we'll use the Scheduled Actions feature, which allows us to mark the activity as overdue if more than 3 days pass without a response. Once a decision is made, the requester will be notified of the result and any additional comments. To send this notification, we'll use an email activity that informs the employee about the outcome of their request. With this, we've completed the modeling of our process, following the defined requirements. To finish, we need to control the 5-day deadline for the initial evaluation. We'll use an expiration control activity. Set it to 5 days. And place the initial evaluation task inside it. This completes the process modeling. In the next video, we'll learn how to optimize the flow and perform the data modeling required to fully automate the process.